Good morning. Happy Friday to you on this full moon, November 15th. We're already at the middle of the month. Do you have your plans all made for Thanksgiving? I think this year the kid and I are going to just stay home. I think it has just been so much that has gone on in the circumference of my world that I think I'm just going to cocoon in with the kid and make a small turkey and my favorite dressing and a few sweet potatoes and a pumpkin pie and call it a day. But what do you have planned? And how have you been? What's the weather doing? It is cold this morning. Heat is on. House is warm. Got a pot of water boiling on the stove. Getting that steam all through the house because it does help the breathing a little bit. But what's been going on in your world? I am Kitryn Marie. I do reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life, and a business coach. Teach a variety of art classes. This will be the last of the fall series that you see. I'm gearing up for Christmas, and probably between now and, I don't know, Sunday, Monday, I'm going to start pulling out some of my Christmas stuff and start to decorate. Just makes me feel so much better when I am able to focus on a holiday. Have not been doing too much with my outside business because I see people are still trying to recover emotionally, mentally from the election. I've had some fabulous conversations with my customers in the last 2 weeks, per se. You know, one customer, we were talking about domestic violence and how mental health very much needs to be brought forth again. A lot of the things that we have seen over the last 4 years isn't necessarily a male-female issue, but a mental health issue that needs to be addressed on a much larger level. And when they, sorry for the pause there, wanted to say this correctly, when they started pulling all of the mental health institutions away from our cities, our states, and the government decided to back off from that, we started to see a lot more of the homeless. We started to see a lot more of a weirder society, and I use that term very broadly and very widely, but we need to get back to addressing what real mental health issues look like. They need to be defined, it needs to be honed in on, and we need to tackle the pharmaceutical companies and all these people that are on these multiple prescription pills where they feel they need it in order to cope. It's getting to the root of what the real issue is. Nobody wants to be poor. I don't believe there is one person on this planet that, you know, when they are born, and we all become products of environment until we realize what the environment has done to us emotionally, physically, financially, mentally. But nobody sets out to be poor. Nobody sets out to live a poverty-type existence. And I think because the economy has played such havoc in our lives since 2008, 2009, when the world did, economically crash, it played very much a part in our relationships, financial situations, the way that we live, the way that we function, the way that we play, and the mental toll it took on all of us, where hopefully within the next 6 months, we will start to see some type of reprieve to what we have been put under over the last 16 years. I always say, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. I teach art enrichment programs to allow people to see what they have succumbed to and where they want to go in this life. Social media has changed so much. The algorithms have changed so much. You can never expect your family to support you. You can never expect your friends to really support you if they do not understand the mission and the purpose in which you were trying to live. In my vision board class that I teach, it's $65 a person. You provide all the supplies. It can be a group, it can be a private. In the relationship part of the house, because that seems to be the main entity that people want to talk about on that board. Now, mind you, I coach, consult through art women who have had failed relationships, women who have lost husbands, women who have, had serious financial difficulties. They've lost jobs. And the relationship part of it is when they're looking for a partner, they have lived in such toxic environments prior to, they don't know what the green flags are. They only know the red flags, and they take them as just their anthem. They don't know any different. And because social media has changed so much, and when we are talking about being public, having these social media pages, I kind of give a heads up to women. If your man is not showing you off on social media, you don't need to post anything like a lot of words, but if he is not showing pictures of your life and the reality of what happiness looks like in that dynamic, I will ask them, what is he hiding? What is he so afraid of by putting your picture up, by displaying what your family does? Now, mind you, we all have a protection about our children, and until they get all of this trafficking and craziness under control, you protect your children, you don't show their faces. But as a whole, if your man is not presenting you publicly, what is he doing behind your back? And there's a very big difference between living a private life and having a public life. There's a very big difference between showing people that you were happy and because everybody wants a good love story. But if they are hiding something and they are keeping you or presenting you from putting things up on social media because he claims he wants to live a private life, there are things that he is hiding. You can trust me on that. There are things that he is hiding. The person that I was with over the last 6 years, between the two of us, we couldn't post enough. We were so happy with the life that we were living. And life does happen, and sometimes you just have to retreat and you have to take steps back, and you assess the relationship in itself and you see, is it really going forward or is it at a standstill? And when it does become at a standstill, you have to be an adult and question why it is not going forward. And if you do not see growth and progress, then things need to come to an end. But that's just on my situation. I can't speak for all of you. There are so many things that we do in our life that we feel some people are not privy to our life. But then again, I ask, what are you hiding? What are you hiding behind? Everybody wants to see everybody do really well, especially since all of the things that we have had to deal with over the last 8 years. The world is turned upside down. As a healthy woman and as I coach other women, talk good things into existence. Put those pictures up there. Life is short. You don't know when the rug is going to be pulled out from underneath you. But understand the dynamic in the relationship that you are. Pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to the green flags. And do you really know who your yellow person is? The person that you can count on all the time, that is going to support you, going to have your back at all times, because no decent man will allow somebody to talk bad about you unless he is trying to hide something himself from his past. And it all shows up. But I am Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach. If you're interested, reach out, Kitryn_Marie.
you.